and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
Hello and welcome to this Wednesday edition of the World Report with me, Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. Let's take a look at what's making headlines around the world. PM Narendra Modi's ongoing visit to Mauritius has witnessed the signing of multiple memorandums of understanding or MOUs aimed at enhancing strategic cooperation and economic collaboration between the two nations. Now, PM Modi is the guest of honor for the National Day celebrations of Mauritius today. Yesterday, on Tuesday that is, PM Modi held productive talks with his Mauritius counterparts Naveen Chandra Ramagulam in Port Louis and reaffirmed, in fact, the strength of the partnership between the two countries. The two leaders also reviewed bilateral relations and ongoing collaborations and explored new avenues to elevate the special bond between the two countries to even greater heights. And the main sectors discussed prominently during the meeting were defense, security, economic linkages, and even cultural exchanges. PM Modi affirmed that India is proud to be a valued and trusted development partner for Mauritius, and the two countries, in fact, will work together to promote the interests of the global South. Later in his address during the banquet dinner hosted by the Prime Minister of Mauritius, PM Modi said that India-Mauritius partnership is in fact not limited to our historical relations. He also added that it is based on shared values, mutual trust, and a common vision of a bright future. Chaos and fear gripped Pakistan's Balochistan province as armed militants hijacked the Jafar Express inside a tunnel. The BLA, or the Balochistan Liberation Army, has claimed responsibility for the attack. Pakistan security forces launched a rescue operation engaging in an intense gun battle. At least 27 militants were killed, while 155 passengers, including women and children, have been safely evacuated. Now, the rescued passengers were transported to March by relief train. Police have not specified exactly how many passengers were taken hostage in the remote mountainous area, but the insurgents said they were in fact holding 214 hostages and have threatened to start executing them. Meanwhile, reports suggest that some hostages have been taken into the mountains with security forces in pursuit. Pakistan Railways has meanwhile set up emergency desks as frantic families still seek updates. Now, the operation is ongoing with authorities vowing to ensure the safe return of all hostages. Train services, meanwhile, between Quetta and Peshawar did only recently resume, in fact, because of previous security confirmed. Meanwhile, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has strongly condemned the attack on Pakistan's Jafar Express train by BLA militants and has called, in fact, for the immediate release of all hostages. Listen in, Bashir Yusuf, a released train passenger on the hostage situation.
लोग चीख रहे थे, गाने मार रहे थे, बस कुछ लेट गए, हम भी लेट गए पूरी ट्रेन में, सब लोग लेट गए कि अपनी जान बचाएं। बदबाई से कुछ फायरिंग हुई, ब्लास्ट हुए, आप लोग नीचे उतरे, लोग नहीं उतर रहे थे, मैं अपने बच्चों को लेके उतर गया।
The search for a missing 20-year-old college student Sudiksha Kunanki is intensifying in the Dominican Republic. NDTV World has accessed the last known footage, in fact, of the missing student. In the video, Sadiksha can be seen walking to the beach on the 6th of March. That's right, 6 days before the day she disappeared. Local officials have now requested Interpol to issue a yellow notice, a global alert for missing persons. Ukraine would accept a US proposal for an immediate 30-day ceasefire if Russia agrees, Kiev and Washington have reaffirmed. After 9 hours of negotiations, senior US officials ended the pause on military assistance and intelligence sharing, which Kiev had warned was costing Ukrainian lives. The ball is in Russia's court. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said, as the US is expected to present the plan to the Kremlin shortly. Meanwhile, Moscow's position remains unclear, although one Russian lawmaker did say the plan was unacceptable, while a former advisor to Russia's President Vladimir Putin said it was a proposal to rearm, in fact, the Ukrainian army. Listen to what Trump had to say about this plan, followed by Jessica Stone's report, exclusive report rather, from Washington, D.C.
Very importantly, and I said it, Ukraine, ceasefire. Ukraine, ceasefire. Just agreed to a little while ago. Now we have to go to Russia and hopefully President Putin will agree to that also, and we can get this show on the road. We can get this horrible war where 2,000-3,000 soldiers a week, every week, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 sometimes. I get the reports, and they're not American soldiers. They're Ukrainian and they're Russian. But people are being killed outside of that. People are being killed in the cities as things explode throughout the cities, and we want to get that war over with. So I think it's a very big. I think it's a big difference between the last visit you saw at the Oval Office and this. So that's a total ceasefire.
Russian missile strike on Dnipropetrovsk killed a 47-year-old woman and injured at least 2 others. This is according to local officials. Now, Dnipropetrovsk's regional governor has said that the attack also triggered a fire at an infrastructure facility in the area. Local officials, meanwhile, have confirmed the casualties, adding that emergency responders were working to contain the damage. Now, the strike is part of ongoing Russian assaults on Ukrainian cities amid the prolonged conflict, and details of the attack come right after Ukraine, in fact, agreed for a 30-day ceasefire in Saudi after meeting with Marco Rubio. On the other side of the border, Russia's foreign intelligence chief Sergei Naryshkin held a phone call Tuesday with the director of U.S. Central Intelligence Agency, or the CIA. The duo discussed issues of cooperation between their respective intelligence agencies and crisis management. The U.S. Department of Education will lay off nearly half its workforce as President Donald Trump moves towards shutting down the agency entirely. Education Secretary Linda McMahon confirmed the cuts, saying they align with Trump's mandate. Now, the department, which oversees $1.6 trillion in college loans and school funding, will shrink from 4,133 employees to 2,183, almost half its size. Offices were shut down Tuesday evening ahead of the announcement. Agencies across the government are preparing, in fact, for a second round of mass layoffs, with buyout payments of up to $25,000 offered to departing employees. Donald Trump has halted a plan to double U.S. tariffs on Canadian steel and metal imports to 50%, just hours after the first threatening them. Now, tariffs of 25% are still going ahead and will take effect from Wednesday onwards. Now, the move by the president comes after the Canadian province of Ontario, in fact, suspended new charges of 25% on electricity that it sends to some northern states across the border to the U.S. Now, this also came hours after Trump threatened to sharply increase his tariffs on the country. On the other hand, Trump has dismissed fears of a recession and also brushed aside the stock market sell-off. Meanwhile, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt referred to the tariffs imposed by India on American alcohol and agricultural products and said that Trump believes in reciprocity. Listen into what the U.S. President and the White House had to say.
Do you think there will be a recession?
I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said, I can do it the easy way or the hard way. The hard way to do it is exactly what I'm doing, but the results are going to be 20 times greater.
Mr. President, you asked.
And remember, Trump is always right.
And what do you say to
If
Americans?
you look at what I've said over the last 10 years, Trump has been right.
India, 150% tariff on American alcohol. You think that's helping Kentucky bourbon be exported into India? I don't think so. 100% tariff on agricultural products from India.
The European Union will impose counter tariffs on $28.3 billion worth of U.S. goods starting the 1st of April, retaliating against U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen announced the move, saying it in fact matches the economic impact of U.S. measures. The EU will introduce tariffs in 2 phases, they've said, with full implementation by the 13th of April. Now, von der Leyen emphasized, in fact, that the EU remains open to negotiations and has also tasked Trade Commissioner Marcos Sefcovic with resuming talks. Meanwhile, the Trump administration's 25% tariff hike on steel and aluminum imports has already taken effect. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has said that US tariffs on Australian steel and aluminium were unjustified. However, his government would not retaliate with its own tariffs. A former Australian government secured an exemption with the previous Trump administration back in 2018 based on arguments including that Australian steelmaker BlueScope employs thousands of workers in the US. Albanese has said that he would continue to pursue an Australian exemption. The 2018 exemption, meanwhile, took several months to secure.
The United States' decision to impose tariffs on Australian steel and aluminium as part of a global decision are concerning. It has been foreshadowed that no country, regardless of its relationship with the United States, has been granted an exemption. Such a decision by the Trump administration is entirely unjustified. This is against the spirit of our two nations' enduring friendship and fundamentally at odds with the benefits that our economic partnership has delivered over more than 70 years. Australia has no tariffs on goods from the United States, and of course we have a free trade agreement with the United States.
US Vice President J.D. Vance is set to reportedly visit India later this month. He'll be accompanied by Second Lady Usha Vance. Now, interestingly, this will be Vance's second international trip as Vice President following his recent visits to France and Germany in Europe. Meanwhile, Usha Vance, whose parents emigrated from India to the US, in fact, will visit her ancestral country for the first time as Second Lady. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval will chair a high-profile intelligence conclave on the 16th of March, focusing on enhancing intelligence sharing to combat terrorism and transitional crimes. The meeting will bring together top intelligence officials from 20 nations, including US Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Canadian Security Intelligence Service Chief Daniel Rogers, and Britain's MI6 head Richard Moore. The conclave aims to strengthen global security cooperation amid rising geopolitical tensions and evolving threats. And it's time we slip into a short break. Much more on the other side.
We know that water is a sacred gift. It gives life, gives health, and purifies. That's why it's shocking that so many families don't have the basics that we take for granted, like clean water and soap. This means they're much more likely to get deadly diseases like diarrhea and cholera. And it's often their kids that suffer the most. Today, over 800 children will die from dirty water, no proper toilet, or just because they can't wash their hands. This Ramadan, please donate your zakat and sadaqah to provide the gift of clean water. To donate, please search Water Aid Zakat. Your donation can help buy pipes and taps for clean water, bricks and cement for washing stations, and of course, soap. This Ramadan, please donate your zakat and sadaqah to give the gift of clean water to those families that need it most. To donate, please search Water Aid Zakat. Thank you.
When you paint by feeling, you can come home to a blooming good day. Change starts here. Dulux.
Someone's happy. Get that lucky cow feeling with luckycowbingo.com/bingo. The site that's bursting with beautiful bingo games. 75 ball bingo. Even 90 ball bingo. Fill your bingo boots today. Get that lucky cow feeling at luckycowbingo.com/bingo or download the Lucky Cow Android app from the Play Store.
Who do I trust for business insurance?
If you need business insurance, join nearly 1 million customers who trust.
Wouldn't life be so much easier if you could control your blinds at the touch of a button? With Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, there's no chains, cords or wiring because these stylish blinds are driven by a rechargeable power pack. New Ultra Smart Blinds from Appeal, the intelligent solution for home shading.
तो सोच रही हूँ कि कल तेरी फेवरेट खीर बना लूं।
मेरे बिना ही?
तू आ रहा है ना 3 महीने बाद? तब खा लेना।
मान ट्रेवल।
रुका नहीं गया ना? वैसे नेक्स्ट वीक दही वड़ा बना रही हूँ।
माँ।
Man Travel. Redefine your travel experience.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Report on NDTV with me, Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. And we take you straight to Mauritius, where the Prime Minister is being facilitated the highest civilian honor in the country. He also participated in the country's National Day celebrations. Take a look.
Our National Day celebration. In a short while, we will turn to a cultural program that reflects the rich diversity and unity of our nation. Due to bad weather, this cultural program might delay a little bit. Independent Mauritius is a vibrant cultural mosaic built from the many traditions and heritage that form our society. This cultural tapestry is held together by the cement of understanding, mutual respect and tolerance. As we reflect on the theme of this year's National Day celebrations, as one people, as one nation, proudly celebrating 57 years of independence and 33 years as a republic, we are reminded.
So there's Prime Minister Modi attending the National Day celebrations in Mauritius, surrounded by the top Mauritian government officials, including the PM, with the message of one people, one country, one aim. The rain clouds are not dampening the spirit over in Mauritius, where the Indian Army and Indian Navy contingent, in fact, are also present. And for our viewers now, it's important to note here that PM Modi has been invited as the chief guest to Mauritius National Day for the second time. It's a rare honor he first received back in 2015, 10 years ago. Now this reflects India's, in fact, deep-rooted ties with the island nation, shaped by shared history, culture and diaspora connections. Moving on, Boeing delivered 44 aircraft in February, a 63% increase from the same month last year. Now, this includes 32 of its best-selling 737 MAX jets and 5 787 wide-body planes. While slightly below January's 45 deliveries, it marks a strong start to 2025. The company also secured 13 new orders for 737 MAX jets, but saw 8 cancellations, including Western Global Airlines dropping orders for 2 777 freighters. Meanwhile, European rival Airbus booked 65 net orders in the first 2 months of the year, ahead of Boeing's 41. Elon Musk is appealing a court ruling that voided his $56 billion Tesla pay package, arguing that the judge made legal errors. The Delaware court had ruled in January that the package approved twice by shareholders was unfair because Tesla directors were too closely tied to Musk and key details were withheld from investors. Meanwhile, Musk's legal team claims the ruling contradicts Delaware corporate law and common sense. The case is one of the largest ever executive compensation disputes, in fact, in the country, with major implications for Tesla's leadership and corporate governance. Mercedes-Benz has named Jason Hoff as its first ever North America CEO effective the 1st of May. Currently head of quality for Mercedes-Benz cars and vans, Hoff will oversee the company's strategy in the US, its second largest market for perspective. The German luxury automaker is consolidating its America research, sales, and marketing operations under Hoff's leadership. Last year, Mercedes sold over 324,000 cars and 49,600 vans in the US alone. The company also plans to expand local production at its Tuscaloosa, Alabama plant to mitigate potential trade tariffs. In the world of sports, Manchester United have announced plans for a new £2 billion, 100,000-seat stadium set to be the largest in Britain. The stadium will be built next to Old Trafford and is expected to be completed within a time frame of 5 years. Co-owner Jim Ratcliffe, who called the world's greatest stadium, has been pushing for a state-of-the-art venue since becoming a minority owner of the club. Meanwhile, the club unveiled architectural designs featuring an umbrella-shaped structure that will harvest energy and rainwater. British Finance Minister Rachel Reeves has backed the project as part of a wider regeneration plan for the Old Trafford area. Listen in.
This has to be one of the most exciting projects in the world today. It starts with the most famous football club in the world, 1 billion followers globally. So it starts with the fans. And it starts with the idea of making something which is so intense, it brings you close to the pitch. Acoustically, it cultivates the roar. As you move away from the stadium, it's not a fortress surrounded by a sea of cars. It's open, and it's contained by an umbrella that harvests solar energy, harvests rainwater, but is protective, and it encloses arguably the largest public space in the world. It's welcoming, it's open, it's at the very heart of a new neighborhood. And then it's part of the city of Manchester, the fastest growing city in the United Kingdom.
NBA veteran and Milwaukee Bucks part owner Junior Bridgman passed away at 71 after collapsing at a luncheon in Louisville. Now, Bridgman, a former college basketball star, was transported to the hospital after experiencing a medical emergency. A successful businessman, he had recently acquired a 10% stake in the Bucks at $3.4 billion valuation. The AIJ Schneider company, which owns the hotel where the incident occurred, confirmed his passing. Tributes have been pouring in for Bridgman, who was also known for his philanthropy and deep ties to the Louisville community. Golf legend Tiger Woods underwent surgery for a ruptured Achilles tendon, the latest setback in his injury-ridden career. Woods, who has not played on the PGA Tour since July, revealed that he felt a sharp pain, in fact, while training at home. The procedure was performed by Dr. Charlton Stucken in Florida, with no timeline given for Woods' return. With the Masters less than 5 weeks away, his participation remains uncertain. Woods had been preparing for a competitive comeback after a back surgery last year, but this injury has once again put his future in doubt. Prince William hit the pitch, but not to play striker or goalie, as they say. It was in the role of a referee, in fact. The Prince of Wales visited a referee training course at Sporting Khalsa FC in Walsall, UK. The Football Association is promoting the Reflective and Representative campaign, hoping to recruit 1,000 people of colour from Black, Asian and mixed heritage backgrounds into refereeing roles. Well, that's all we have for you today. Take care and have a wonderful day.
If you won't do it for you, do it for your grandchild, who's mad you didn't hear her joke.
Book a free hearing test at bootshearingcare.com.
The UK's first human heart transplant has been completed, supported by the British Heart Foundation.
We were a noisy generation, but it might be something quiet we do that becomes our greatest legacy. Leave a gift in your will to the British Heart Foundation and fund groundbreaking research that could help save millions of lives. Search BHF Wills.
Visit bingoaliens.com/bingo for a cosmic range of bingo games, taking bingo to another dimension at bingoaliens.com/bingo.
Today, criminals can use AI to invade your online privacy. Norton VPN Ultimate, advanced tech for advanced threats.
Find a pet-friendly Italian restaurant with outdoor seating nearby and text it to Luca.
Find it real quick. Send it to the click.
Get your Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra with Galaxy AI and save up to £744 when you trade in a Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra on 3. Life needs a big network.
I've been thinking, I want to plan my funeral so it feels more like a celebration. My parents always said I was born dancing. I just love it. Bhangra, disco, even line dancing. So when my time comes, I want to have music, dancing, the lot.
With over 150 years experience, you can count on Co-op Funeral Care to help you pre-plan the funeral you want. To find out more, visit Co-op Funeral Care or give us a call.
Family life. It's made of ups and downs and those little moments. But should the unthinkable happen to you? Life insurance from Legal & General can help look after monthly bills, the roof over their heads, childcare costs, and most importantly, your family. Because no one protects more families in the UK than us. Premiums start from £5 a month and they never rise. Plus there's a £100 gift card after you apply. Legal & General. Ensure life goes on.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
AI scientist, and some would even call him a rock star in the AI space.
We definitely need AI for is to unlock some of the mysteries of nature.
As someone who is an AI scientist, what is your goal?
Our civilization is facing a number of sort of challenges, and I think this is where AI comes into the picture.
Will this replace most jobs?
The new generation of AI models is that they have cognitive ability.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
Path-breaking innovation and a lot that technology can achieve. But I feel this is one question that I must ask simply because it impacts so many people's lives, which is the role AI is playing in our lives in terms of some sort of a disinformation, that's also happening, and a large part of company and government's resources goes in addressing some of this. As I said, it may look much lower in the tech ladder in terms of what you're doing, but it impacts people's lives. So how can Google sort of address the flip side to AI, which is some of the disinformation that we see? I mean, it may be an inevitable outcome of what you're doing, but is there a way of reducing its potential pitfalls?
So yeah, absolutely. In fact, we think that this is a very important sort of topic that deserves a lot of thought and care. With generative AI especially, it has the ability to sort of generate text, images, audio and video. That ability is very powerful and very useful in many contexts, but it also comes with the risks, right? If the same power is used for malicious purposes. So